Alright guys, so this is actually pretty cool. You can see right here, I have the caliper. I took these bolts out because I was about to try to take it apart, but then I looked at it, and basically what you have is two pins that go through, and you've got these other pins here, these like cotter pins that snap sort of into the holes in these pins, and those hold the brake pads on. So if you slide those out, those actually sit through the pads. So that's a pretty cool design. I kind of like it. Props to Toyota for this. I don't work on a lot of Toyotas, but that is pretty sweet. So I think what I'm going to do here is try to get something in there and pry the pads apart a little bit just to get a little bit of wiggle room in there after I bang the clips out and everything. So I'll just pull the cotter pins first and then bang the clips out from the small end so that this end, obviously this end can't go through to that way. So I got to hit it back this way, and we'll bang those clips out. See if we can get the pads out. If we can pry the pads out, it should be pretty easy for the caliper to come off, and I'll bust off these two other ones. These were 17s, and we'll get these other ones off here, and should get this whole thing all apart. And then I'll show you guys exactly how we're going to put these new rotors on. There's our other pad. It looks like that either didn't have a squealer on it or it rotted off or something. A little bit of corrosion in there, a little bit of nastiness. We'll get that out of there, but basically now, I guess it's like it's all-in-one bracket caliper setup. This is pretty interesting actually. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and bust these guys off, which I think actually hold it onto the knuckle, they look like a 14 or 15. So take a look at that. But yeah, as far as the new pads, I guess we'll see where I want to put the squealer, where it makes the most sense. I think probably put it on the inside, because that way it'll be it'll be dragging in that direction, and it won't be as aggressive once the pad does get down, because the other way I think it would rub the wrong way. So I think I'll put it in the back, which is what I was planning to do. So just like that, and like that. And you can see these pads are definitely worn down. He was almost metal to metal there, really close. The back of this rotor is definitely rusted, I can tell, because of the way the pad's worn. Not sure if you can see it too well. Hopefully you have a good view of the ground here. Basically, all beat the heck up down here. This thing's destroyed. So he needed brakes pretty bad. The back of the rotor is shot too, so it's a good thing we're changing the rotors. Long story short though, I'm going to bust these off, let you know what size they are. Forward. Alright, so ideally we'd like to hold this guy up. Just on light pressure back and forth. We can go one click. Oh, there she goes. Nice. So, you guys see that that worked way better than banging on it with a hammer. So, just find some bolts that are the right size. You know, I'm not sure what size it is, but that worked like a champ. So now, we know we got our new rotor that we're going to put on there. And this really should be brake cleaned off. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this off. And then we'll slap this guy on and we'll be ready to go. Alright, so we got the rotor on and we got this thing started here. You make sure if you got rotors like these, you put it on the right side of the slits. When you're moving through, you want them to swipe backwards, not like scoop. You want them to swipe backwards. This is to get rid of the brake dust as the brakes are braking. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to bleed this stupid thing to get the air out that I just got in here. It's probably not much, but I want them to have a good pedal. If it doesn't have a good pedal, you know, I'm going to have to address that for him. So, basically, now we can put our new brakes in, but the issue is going to be that our calipers are fully pressed in, so we got to squeeze these guys a little bit. Let me get some channel locks. Trying to not hit it, but okay. And then we have brand new little cotter pins to stick in there. So we can stick a cotter pin in this one. They're pretty tough to just stick in there, so bear with me. But we'll get it. We'll get it. Okay. Alright, so we're good there. So I'm going to go ahead and crank all this stuff tight. Alright, so that is the completed setup. That is how it goes. It wasn't too bad. I think the only thing that you probably have a special tool from Toyota to squeeze the pistons in here, but I just pried on it both ways. I maybe could have pried on it a little bit more to get to it better, but either way it works, and once you get to it, you get to it. You know, if it's on, it's on. So we're good to go here. I'm going to go ahead and throw this one last little clip here with this guy right here. And it looks like we are good to go on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and pop the wheel back on, and then we'll go ahead and move over to the next side. Actually, probably should bleed this side first since I went ahead and ripped the caliper apart there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bleed it really quick, and then I'll get back to you guys with the other side, and then we're going to have to go do a little break-in with this system here. So on this side I learned, so it's going much quicker so far. Basically what I did was I pried it apart first. I stuck that screwdriver in there. But take a look at this pad here. Look how bad that is. That's really gnarly. This is a good time to have this changed. It was almost really bad. I'm sure that his brakes were not good. These were pretty shot for sure. So glad we're changing them for him. But yeah, so not going to take the caliper apart on this side like I did on the other side. That was a dumb move. I'm just going to do the two 17s in the back and this one 12 or 13 right here. Don't remember. And then I'll have this guy all set up over here. Looks like we got a little bit of brake fluid over here. I hope we didn't pop a brake line. I hope that's just coming out of the master. I'm going to have to check that. I really hope that's just coming out of the master. Alright guys, so the back was a little bit tricky. It was a pain to get this off. In the end, I used penetrating lube around the center here because it was rusted to this flange here, and it was super rusted on there, which no big deal, but you know, that in combination with a little bit of stick from the pads on the back makes it really tight, and there could be a lip on the back edge. So I did try to put bolts in there here and here like I did in the past on the front, and that was not that didn't actually help me out. So what I ended up having to do was, you know, we were banging on it from both sides, and then in the end what ended up doing it was hitting it. So just this penetrating lube and hitting it with a hammer is the only way, just alternating here, 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 you know, just all around, hitting it from all sides with a hammer. Eventually it came off, and found out he does in fact need rear brakes at some point in the near future, but maybe not right now, but he's gonna need them pretty soon. So he's got some life left. He can rock them for a little while, but he should think about doing them at some point soon. So we'll tell him that, but otherwise we're good to go here. So what we're gonna do is just button it back up, put the wheels on, and I'm gonna go do the break-in procedure. But other than that, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed. And we had our little mishap up front where we undid the caliper, and thankfully we didn't have any extra leakage from this. You can see our caliper here is not leaking down at the bottom. I cleaned it all off with this Kit 200 here, wiped it, made sure it was nice and clean, and then we held the pedal down with a pole and made sure that it would, you know, press down pretty hard on the pedal for an extended period of time, just to see if this thing would, you know, give me an issue, but it did not. So I think that we're going to be all set here. No leaks whatsoever. I didn't see any seepage. So even though I yanked this thing apart like a big dummy, it's not going to leak on him. So I'm thankful, and I think we're going to send this thing on its way. So I'm going to go ahead and button it up, and then I'll pull it outside and take it for a beat ride. So I took the truck for a test drive, and it did drive super well. That was yesterday. It's all fixed. The brakes work really well. I did a little braking procedure, just some aggressive stops from like 45 to 10 or 45 to 15 right after each other, and to get the brakes nice and warm. And then after that I proceeded to just let them cool down for a super long time, just driving around without using the brakes and definitely not holding on the brakes. So if you have an area that lends well to that, that's your best option. But yeah, so the brake job's done, and we're gonna end up doing the rear brakes on it probably sometime in the spring. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully you learned something, and remember to subscribe if you want to see more videos. I do a lot of videos mainly on this car right here, but for the most part this is what the channel's about, but I will do some more repair videos here and there. The repair videos are actually what bring in the bacon, if you know what I'm saying, because they get more in the search results than these Honda videos, although the Honda stuff is what I really enjoy doing. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like it, and peace.